Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Piranha Motorsports. This one we're introducing a new project car, sort of. Definitely not a wanted one, but it has a good reason, and I'm about to tell you why. So I've had an idea for a little while about a content challenge thing with some other YouTubers for a while, and I've put the feelers out to a few West Australian guys about the possibility of making something happen. Now, it's going to be something that happens in the near future, and I'll run into that a little bit down the track, but in doing so, I reached out to another YouTuber here in WA, and his channel's called Automotive Carnage. And if you haven't yet, jump over and have a look. Press the subscribe button because it's a pretty cool channel. He has some pretty cool stuff. He's been going for a while. And it's Carnage with a K, so if you have to double check that. So DJ, he then invited us to attend one of his challenges. And he runs every year an event called Carnage 1000, which is just a bit of a fun event on his farm where you take a shitbox and you go and race around a track and have a good time with some other YouTubers. We're going to go and have a crack. And I say we loosely because we are going, but actually Dad's driving, and his chariot for the weekend is a 1994.
99, wasn't it?
Was it not? Oh, that's right, 1999. Sorry, Ford Festiva, and he is absolutely over the moon.
Over the car.
So, first job on the fix list is there's no brakes, and we found looks like quite a savage leak down the back here. So we're gonna get stuck into that, but it is 1.5 litres of Ford's finest 5-speed manual Fury. I think it's a 5-speed. Yeah, it's a 5-speed. Why have I've got me torch on. 5-speed manual pink stereo Fury, and we picked this up from a friend of ours, Aaron Paletti. It was going to scrap, and I said, oh, I need something to flog around the paddock. It's got some weight reduction in many places, like in some of the strangest places you've ever seen in your entire life. However, it's going to get an absolute flogging. We're going to go pick up another one tomorrow. He actually had 2 of them. That one was licensed. He's handing the plates in, but it's absolutely shot. But we're going to grab a couple of bits and pieces, mainly some spare wheels, because I think it's going to probably roll a couple off the bead by the time we're finished for the weekend, and a few bits and pieces. So we're going to get stuck into this today, fix a brake leak. Dad's already had a quick look over the engine and clean some plugs and a few little bits and pieces, and it seems to be running pretty good. CVs are clunky, but it should just hack around the farm for a day while we have some fun. We're going to get stuck in and we're going to do a rattle can paint job. So we're going to go and get some rattle cans, different colours, and do some sort of a paint theme on it, and have a good time for the weekend. We'll film that, and we'll do that in the next episode. So you can see, well, we'll film the event, so you can watch that on the next episode, of us vlogging this around and joining in with some other YouTubing channels, which is going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, we'll get stuck in and have a look at a brake line. We're going to need...
That's right, on this side.
Oh, both sides. We're going to need some jack stands, and we'll fix that up. And then we'll hit the other one tomorrow, try and make one out of the 2, do a paint job, and send it on a fun farm day. All right, let's see how we go. On a side note though, these tyres are like brand new. So there's 2 of those. The other 2 are on the other one on the front. They were on this thing on the front, but then they're on the other front of the other one. So we'll get those ones tomorrow. All right. The spare is a bit rusty in there. Check this thing out. It's been rusting, like leaking so much that even the, like, underneath that, I'm not even sure if there's going to be any floor left underneath that fucking wheel when it comes out. The rear parcel shelf has some wicked speakers. So I'm not sure if that bolt's actually going to undo. That actually looks like a 14 as well.
Yeah.
The rattle gun, where's that rattle gun? Is it my side? Have I got it? I've got it here. Alright.
Yep.
Oh no, come out.
No, it's snapped off.
Did it? Oh no, come out.
It's come out.
Yeah. She's got a little bit of camber wear on this one. Oh, it was stuck to the floor.
Still full of water.
Yeah. I can't.
It's full of water.
Yeah.
The back door won't open.
No, at this stage we're gonna try and see if we can get in there. Although it doesn't really matter, I guess. Oh, look at that! Oh wow!
She's
Check
pretty.
that out.
She's pretty.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, one thing we did find was rust, and more rust, and more rust. But we did find our. So there's a leak there, and then again on this side too. This is crazy. Wow. And then a leak there. So we're gonna have to try and see if we can get these undone, and then when the other car gets here tomorrow, we'll have to see if we can pinch the lines off of them. Otherwise we're gonna have to run front brakes and handbrake rear. Worst case scenario. So, which still works. It'll do what we want to do anyway. Alright, let's have a bit of a dig in. Okay, so after a good investigation, brake lines from basically about there, all the way down and out to both tyres. Well, these things actually have a splitter up the front. And it has 2 brake lines, one each side, which is unusual because usually they have one down to the back and they split down here. She had 2 individual brake lines, both of them completely gutted. So, as you can see, there's even a drip here, and here, and here, and on the other side. So, unfortunately, that's a lot of work. So we're just going to blank off and run front brakes and a handbrake rear, which for what we're doing with it's all it's going to need, so it's going to be fine. Yeah, tailgate we got open, was just jammed and rusted closed. She's a doozy. I mean, yeah, she is. Once we're finished with it, I don't even think they'll give us money for scrap, in all seriousness. So, bit of fun. We're going to. These are dragging pretty bad, and they're not going to be operational, but we do need them for handbrake. So we're going to take the whole hub off, clean it all out, make sure that it's can still grip right for handbrake, readjust it, and get them functioning. And then we'll bleed the front brakes up once Dad's going to weld up the nuts and blank off the rears, so that it just runs the fronts. Cool, we're getting there.
The hubs are pretty worn.
Yeah. need 2 screwdrivers. Or a tyre lever.
Yeah.
Alright, well, that one's off.
That'll just.
So we're just going to have a look at everything, go over it all, get some adjustment, and spider crawling around in there. Alright, brakes actually don't look too bad. Got life left in them. Someone serviced it with what looks like white grease. So, interesting. Alrighty. Alrighty, well that's rear end done. So brakes are no longer existent except for handbrake, which works quite well actually. So that's the rear end done. We can drop it back on the deck. We can lift up the front and we can bleed the front brakes and get some brake pedal there, and then the car can stay in the air because tomorrow we're going to pick up an oil and a filter for it and do an oil change. Yes, we're going to do an oil change on it. Cheapest possible oil we can find. And we will at least have a little bit of peace of mind with it anyway. So, because I don't know, this thing's been sitting for quite some time. So we'll get it jacked up in the front end, off the back, and we'll go from there. Okay, we are in the air. Pads look alright. Rotors are lovely. We might wire wheel them or something like that.
It'll disappear in the first second lap.
Yeah, but it might also get rid of whatever's left on the brake pad doing the same thing too. So we're going to try and get the bleeder out and get some pedal happening. So see if we can get these nipples out. Let's see if it'll undo without any gentle persuasion.
You break it off with fuck.
Well, not really. We do have another car coming. But don't want to be swapping over brake calipers. Not that one. Well, that was a bit of a shock. No heat required. No gentle persuasion. Just they undone. And considering the rest of the car, that surprised the shit out of us. So let's time to get some brake pedal happening. So I'm going to top up the reservoir.
Yeah.
I'll top up that. We got some brake fluid here. Okay, she's topped up. Tell me when you're ready. You mean like really quickly? Nope. Hang on. Yep, down. Oh yeah, that just moved about an inch at the bottom. Hang on, I'm gonna get in the car. This is too awkward. All right. Down. Yeah, it moved about an inch at the bottom again. Yeah, so lots of air still. Alright, well I will come back to you guys in a minute. Alright, we've gone a couple of times. We're on the other. Down. Oh yeah. Yep. Pumping. We're nearly at a full brake pedal, but there's still a bit of air coming out. So we'll keep going. Look at that. Check the pink stereo out. Huh? Look at this thing. Down. Yep. Cool. Well, we've just about got a brake pedal. Looking good. Well, one of the most important things about a car like this is how it sounds. And you've got to hear 1.5 litres of absolute pure beauty. So, Ford, well, actually it's a Kia, we found out, done this. Alright, check this out. It's a ready-made side exit exhaust. It goes up here to this quiet box, but guess what I'm going to do? Yes, I am. Okay, Dad topped up the power steering reservoir with some old transmission fluid that I think come out of one of the burnout cars at some stage. And I've got the exhaust. The dog seems to be busily sniffing my leg. Stop it. Yes, yes it does. Oh yeah, that seat's good. Nice and light. Works fine. Love it. Absolutely love it. It's a bit smoky. Alrighty, well, we've finished playing for our first few hours worth of mucking around on our race car. The list of jobs has completely diminished down to almost nothing. We now have no rear brakes, which was not planned, but that's what's happening. But we have a fully functional and an excellent working handbrake, which is exactly what we need. We now have a fully functional and very nice brake pedal on the front. Power steering now works. The engine runs beautifully after all the plugs and everything cleaned, and we found a couple of air leaks and a couple of bits and pieces when we were looking at it a minute ago. We fixed that up. We have a racing exhaust system fitted. Yep, there's what's left of the exhaust system down there. But anyway, racing exhaust system's done, and the boot now opens. So that works. We fitted up a pink stereo. No, we didn't. That come factory, not. But you know the other thing about this thing is,
Yeah, the back door, the knob just goes down.
Oh, does it? Okay. I'll have to remember that. This thing actually has only got 160,000 kilometers on the clock. So it's only newborn. It's hardly even been around the clock. So yeah, we're done for today, I think. Tomorrow we just got to get some oil and a filter for it while we're in Geraldton. That'll give it a service, and I'll grab some rattle cans to start the beautification process. We've got some rust repairs to do up the top here, and I'll show you the only way to fix that, and we'll get to that tomorrow. Well, in a few minutes anyway, when this video. And then we'll also pick up the other car. So I don't know if I told you, I've got the other car. There's another one which has got tyres and bits and pieces. So we'll pick that up tomorrow and bring that back. We'll pinch the tyres off it. We'll pinch probably struts and drive shafts, CVs out of it as spares, and the wheels as spares, just in cases, because apparently it's a common to drop, roll some wheels off the beads while you're at this track. So we'll have some spares. Yeah, and we'll have some fun. So we will get stuck into this car again in a couple of days, but for you, it'll be about now. Well, it's another day back at Piranha HQ on the Festiva, and they're bloody doubling. So originally we were going to be able to pick up 2 of these. This one was licensed, but in all seriousness, this one's cooked. Absolutely cooked, just as much as the other one. It's dented from arsehole to breakfast. The motor is ticking like you've never heard it tick before. So we passed on it, but Aaron said going to hand the plates back in, and he's sold it to us for not very much, because we wanted some more spare tyres and some spare CVs and a few bits and pieces. So he's thankfully handed that thing over to us. So today's plan is, here we go, cheapest oil, cheapest filter, cheapest rattle cans. Let's make this thing serviced. And can you polish a turd? It's a Ford. We'll see how we go. Well, I've been doing a little bit of, I don't know, wasting time, masking up. Dad's done oil and filter. Now we're just going to, we're going to do a professional exhaust system job on the car. Oh, hell yeah. That is exactly like, yep, absolutely.
The bird's beak.
I reckon the other way. That way. Yep. Just like that. So,
That's what it's going to sound like.
who cares? So we'll get that put on there, and
Like that.
yeah. Alright, we'll have a play with it and see what we come up with. Well, the professionally outfitted exhaust system works an absolute treat. Makes it sound even more like shit. Now, let's get on to some rust repair panels or professional bodywork. And I think that'll work.
Right.
Yep, go. Another 5/16 just there. And in the true spirit of doing this properly, we've got two 5/16 headed Tech screws and two 3/8 ones, because that's all we could find. Cool. So, socket head. That went really easy.
Yeah. Thin roof.
Mm.
In the middle.
Okay, that's it. Done. That's patched. I think that's a win.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on with We've done the body work now, let's do the paint work. So I just got out of the paint booth with the car. Now it's now silver, and it's actually covered really well. Like, I think I did an amazing job. Getting the hang of the gun, spray gun's like not been my forte in the past, but I'm going to do some now some professional masking up, and I've got some two-pack blue to put down, and a few little bits and pieces. So I'll yeah, I'll get onto that in a minute. Okie dokie. Well, I've put all the colour on. Well, the base colour anyway, and the top colours. Now I've got to go and put the black lines on, but this is going to take a little while to dry. So I'll give that a bit of time to dry, and I'll come back out, get the black, start laying down some stripes, and yeah, she'll look the part. Well, what I was going for anyway. So not over the top, but a bit of fun, something different, because I'm not sure anyone else is doing anything with their cars, but we are. So anyway, let's do it. Well, this will bring us to the end of our first Festiva video. We've got the car running, driving, serviced, sounding louder, and looking better. Well, I think it looks better anyway. It looks better than it did, and let's have a look and see what we come up with, eh? When it's all said and done. So, my very cheap rattle can rendition of a cartoon painted car. It's very, very budget. But, for 50 bucks worth of rattle cans and some black paint that I found around the yard, come up alright. Just need to steel wool the windows, clean them up a little bit better, because it's got some overspray on them. I'm going to polish the headlights. Why? Because I can. Just to finish it off, I've painted over the Ford badge, and then we're going to, so what I'll do is I'll film a little bit more on the car. We're going to strip out the interior. We're going to do a few little bits and pieces. We'll do some more work getting parts off of the other car. This has got to put the wheels on it, and do a few other finishing touches. But this is going to be the first video on the Festivas. We'll do another one, which won't be a very long one, not like this one, where we just do the final touches, get loaded up, and get ready to go to DJs. But we've got a complete car. We could technically take it now if we change the front tyres over, because Aaron did a skid with these ones. So, yeah, we'll touch up a few more bits and pieces in the next video. But I'm pretty happy. I like it. I think it looks cool. It's different. It's not what the other guys have got, and well, I don't know. They might do. Has anyone else spent any time on getting their cars ready? Got no idea. But we spent 5 minutes on making it look better. So we'll see when we get there, I guess. Yeah, but thanks very much for watching. If you've made it this far, you are absolute legends. If you haven't yet, please click that subscribe button, because there's heaps more fun stuff like this, and you're going to actually get to see the Festiva. And Dad, 70-year-old man's going to drive this thing around Carnage 1000 in a couple of weeks' time. So, yeah, thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, comment. Leave a comment. I try and reply to as many as I possibly can. So, yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Look at this thing. I think the pink stereo matches it now.